With commentary and analysis on our hometown teams, this is the Bucky and Sully Show. Presented by Dave's Christmas Wonderland. 2 locations, Union Road, Cheektowaga, and Transit Road, Williamsville. Now, from the WBBZ-TV studio, here are Buffalo News sports columnists Bucky Gleason and Jerry Sullivan.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bucky and Sully Show. I'm Bucky Gleason. I'm here with Jerry Sullivan, of course. Just to let you know, we have to have a little celebration for Adam Ziglis, who won the Pulitzer Prize today for editorial cartooning. This dude is unbelievably talented, and yeah, he gets the highest honor. There's one of Terry Pagula there.
I love that. That
was great, and so we want to congratulate Adam. He is terrific, and you know, to get that honor at this point in his career, or any point in anybody's career, is incredible. And he's only, what, 32 years old or so, and good for him.
And the Buffalo News doesn't win a Pulitzer every day. In fact, it's about once every 25 years. Once again, we didn't make the cut.
No, we didn't. We fell a little short, Sully. You know, I imagine I was pretty close. I'm sure you were way far back. Tom Tolles wins it in 1990.
I think it was 25 years.
And that was exciting too, so our newsroom is very happy, and again, congratulations to Adam.
It's less frequent than even the Bills making the playoffs.
This is true, Sully. Hey, just to let you know, too, we're going to talk about Shannon Evans, who is considering leaving the University of Buffalo. We're going to get to that in the second segment, so make sure you stay with us. First, we have to go over this lottery situation, Sully, and the Sabres end up with the number 2 pick, which is what the math said all along.
Yeah, and I don't understand why the general manager is so upset about it. I thought he mishandled it badly. You read my column today, and I don't know, there's this colossal sense of entitlement around this organization, Bucky. They've been terrible for 2 years in a row. We're now in 8 years since they won a playoff series. I'm feeling kind of sad today just that there is no playoffs, because that's a fun time. But why are they acting like the world owes them something? They're lucky. He shouldn't be whining, Tim Martin. He should be thanking the NHL for giving him a number 2 pick in the draft 2 years in a row. Never mind those other picks they got when they were just bad, like Gergensen and the defenseman Ristolainen. They should be thanking the league, because it shouldn't be a reward for incompetence. That's exactly what this is, a reward for incompetence. Instead of complaining, he should have just turned right to Eichel and said, I'm happy to have this guy. He's really almost as good as as McDavid, and he might be. What was he thinking?
Well, first of all, Sully, he needed an intervention. There were other people there that were there. You understand that.
Unfortunately, worked in PR for the Sabres.
That the top prize there was Connor McDavid. Everybody knew that. You know, Murray couldn't shake himself from that. I mean, he's telling people that he needed to check himself because he's watching this kid so much, and he was, you know, smitten with him, and that's fine. I get that you don't get the guy that you want. He's the top prize. You understand it. But somebody needed to step in there and say, hey, listen, Tim, I understand that it didn't work in the way that you had hoped or that we had hoped or whatever, but remember what this is about, and that is what Eichel's a really good player. You end up with the first-line center, supposedly a generational player. Sully, the fact that he reacted that way tells me that he thinks that the gap is a little bit wider than most people do when it comes to those 2 players. Because if he was perfectly content with Eichel, he would have just said, fine. Hey, we were happy with Eichel all along anyway, or the number 2 pick. So, hey, if they want to take Eichel, they can take him. We'll take McDavid. If they want to take McDavid, we'll take Eichel. Everybody's happy. We knew that going in. And instead, it was a porky Tim Murray coming out.
The one team that shouldn't be acknowledging in any way that gap is the Buffalo Sabres, the team that with the 80% chance of taking him. You should have some sort of plan going in of how you're going to react. That's how PR is done. And the NHL didn't handle it well. You know the NHL. You've covered them long enough. They're not the champions of public relations. They're not exactly the NFL. But my God, this is another example of the Buffalo Sabres not managing their top people in public. You go back to the things that were said by Terry Pagula down there when the mayor was there. Ted Black being told, I believe you told me not to come out and engage with me and Mike Harrington, and that's exactly what he did. Of course, we became the villains.
Well, it's all your fault, isn't it, Sully?
The Mulligan quote from your old friend there,
Go ahead.
Larry Quinn. I'm just saying, it's just time after time. And then they're not going to have an end-of-season press conference. And this will become an issue in social media, and Mike Harrington will be made out to be the devil by all the slobbering Sabres fans who should be happy about Eichel. But why can't they come out and answer a few more questions about getting Jack Eichel and the tank working, and a million questions about what's going on here? And what's their justification? That it might be uncomfortable, or that they're mad at us?
It's a time to celebrate the pick, Sully. That's the way I looked at it.
Celebrate the pick.
There was an 80% chance that they were going to get him, and the 80% chance came in. That's kind of how that I looked at it. Now, in case you haven't been paying attention, I was totally against the whole idea of tanking. You know, forget the moral or ethical or whatever things about sports that come with tanking. It's not smart. It just isn't a smart way to go about it, because the math usually works against you. It did here, and you got the reaction that you were not expecting. So, you know, Murray, it seemed, you know, if I'm Murray, the first person that I want to get a hold of is anybody that's connected to Eichel. I don't know if he can reach out to him specifically and contact him. You know, he's not his property yet, but you know how this is going to go, and I think he's got some mending to do there.
I heard one report coming in by someone who said that it's all about where he plays next year, which is, of course he's going to play in the NHL. He's going to be their number one center. I don't know if this person didn't understand what was going on, but they said, well, you don't leave college to go to the AHL. You go to the NHL. No kidding. He
couldn't anyway.
So I don't understand that. But do you think that's part of this thing, is that he needs to know that he's going to come and play in the NHL and be their number one center? Or is it all about him wanting to go back and enjoy the college experience again?
I think it's more of he's going to be the number one center no matter where he goes. He knows that. You know, look, you said it yourself just before, you know, and by the way, people who say that they know, well, whether I mentioned there is a gap, or there could be a gap, or Tim Murray thinks there's a gap, it is impossible to know until you get these two players playing against the same competition over a long period of time. I watched the two of them play in the World Junior Championships, and I thought that McDavid was better. How much better? I have no idea. That you're looking at 5 or 6 games. You can't even compare the two. So you need something over a longer stretch of time. What were we talking about? Oh, would he stay? Yeah, I mean, one reason, look, they came within one goal of winning the national championship last year. He's a freshman. He really enjoyed, you know, playing at Boston University. There's a lot to be said for that. He's a teenager. He's got some growing up to do, there's a maturation process there. He's only going to get stronger physically. The reason to come out, one, is that he's ready to play at this level, and two, that there's a lot of money on the line. So those are really, Sully, the only reasons that you would do that. I wouldn't blame him for staying, just because you only get that chance once. And I think that, you know, there have been players that go back and they regret, you know, say, you know what, I wouldn't mind it if I would have stayed one more year in college. Not the whole 4 years, and they better hope he doesn't do that, because then he becomes an unrestricted free agent, by the way. But, you know, to go back and play for another year, I wouldn't blame the kid.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. He's going to come and play for the Sabres eventually, but if he didn't come next year after all of this, I mean, it would be an embarrassment to the organization.
It would, and I think that the way that this was handled, it's possible that could creep into his psyche, and maybe he's not so anxious to come to Buffalo. I don't know what's going through the kid's head. Maybe his parents would have liked him to get a little bit more respect, and, you know, if he felt insulted by the way the thing was handled, I don't blame him. But you don't know what's going through Jack Eichel's head. You would hope that he would be mature enough, professional enough at some point. Look, he's gonna be insulted a lot of times when he plays in this league. And this is not going to be the first time he's going to be insulted by his own organization, especially if he plays for this one. So he's going to have to get over that, move on. You want to come into the NHL, there's a job waiting for you. And if not, you want to go back to college, there will be a job waiting for you at the end of next year. All right, Sully, we need to take a break. First, we have to get to the trivia question.
No, let's look at it.
Hockey related. I'm sure you have it nailed.
No, I missed it.
Jack Eichel won the 2015 Hobie Baker Award, given to college hockey's best player. Which former Sabre did not win the award? We'll have the answer when we come back.